This is 60 Minutes with Patrick Hunley. Today we're going to discuss in this video how divorce has become a social issue in America. In America, divorce has become a major social issue that has greatly been affecting the future children. In America, kids after a divorce, experience poor academic performance. It's been noted that they've been more likely to act out during school. Depression has also been an issue amongst children. And through the conflict of the parents also comes conflict with the siblings. Some of the long-term effects that divorce can have on an individual's life as they enter in adulthood are a lack of further education, depression, and financial struggles, and difficulty maintaining relationships. These effects can kind of snowball as soon as a child enters into adulthood. If they decide to stop going to school, the lack of schooling can create a lack of money. A lack of money can create stress, which stress causes depression. And then the depression can lead into the individual having a divorce for themselves. Next, you're going to hear from a college student who is 20 years old attending Wright State University, who experienced a divorce at the end of her high school years. How did you feel when your parents informed you that they were going to file for a divorce, and how old were you when you heard this news?
Well, I was old enough to the point that I didn't need to be informed. I was a junior in high school, and at the time, because of the situations that were going on, I think I was more, I wouldn't say happy, but I was satisfied with what was going to happen because it was going to stop the situations. Because my whole senior year pretty much evolved around the emotional disturbances that I had because of my parents getting divorced, I'd say. Did you ever blame yourself for the divorce? Did you ever try to make this your fault? I did blame myself for a period of time. What had happened was when I was younger, my dad was an alcoholic, and he ended up having partial kidney failure, so he went to rehab. And when he got out, my youngest brother was born, and my mom told him then that if he didn't stop drinking, that my mom would take us and we would leave. My dad was sober for around 12 years, and I was a junior in high school when one night when my mom was gone with one of my brothers on a wrestling trip. My dad handed me a cup and said, "Just taste this." And so I took it and I tasted it, not thinking anything about it. And well, I knew it was alcohol. And then I ended up crying, and my dad started cursing at me and told me that if I told my mom, she would leave and then we wouldn't be together anymore. So I kept it a secret for 3 or 4 months. And my mom and I went grocery shopping, and I told her, and I said, "Hey, I have something to tell you that I've been keeping from you," because I couldn't handle the pressure of that's a big secret for somebody who's in high school. I basically felt like I was holding the weight of my family's relationship on top of me, and I couldn't handle it anymore. I was sad all the time. Like, I was depressed because I knew on the weekends when my dad said he was going somewhere, he wasn't. He was going there to drink and cheat on my mom and whatnot. So I told her, and I said, Dad's drinking again. And she asked me, "What?" So I told her again, and she pretty much just stopped in her place and she started crying, so we left. So yeah, I did blame myself for the longest time because maybe things would have been different if I had told her right away. Maybe I should have never told her, and then I'd still get to see my dad because my dad's not in my life anymore. Not by our choice, but what the alcohol has done to him, or maybe we could have helped more.
Are you currently in a relationship now? Do you find yourself having difficulty maintaining lasting relationships? And do you feel that this divorce has caused you to have issues trusting one another in a relationship?
I'm currently not in a relationship, but I have had relationships, serious relationships. And because of the person I am and my personality and my beliefs, I'm positive that I am able to have that type of positive and stable relationship that many others do have.
Mm-hmm. As an individual experiences divorce at a younger age, their experiences can translate into adulthood. The symbolic interaction theory states that an individual's experiences or interactions with other people have impacts upon how they view certain symbols or certain events in life, such as marriage, or the symbol of a marriage ring, which symbolizes eternal love. A person who has experienced divorce may see marriage as only temporary, or as abusive, or as a marriage ring as almost a symbol of negativity. As you'll see, this individual, when she talks, you'll see certain things of how she has been impacted on the divorce, even though it was only recently, as of 3 years ago. What are your opinions now on marriage after the divorce has happened?
I do believe in marriage. I think it depends on the person and what their outlooks on life are. Mm-hmm. But I think I'm fully capable of being married for a really long time. My personality is revolved around happiness, and I'm a happy-go-getter person, so I don't like confrontation. So, not that I can't get in arguments, but I'd rather just solve them reasonably. And if I ever were to get married, I'd hope that my husband would share the same values as I do. I don't want to have the same personality, but I like ours to be similar. That way we can work things out rather than yell at each other all the time, as my parents did.
So do you believe that love and marriage is forever then?
Like I said before, it really depends on the person, because I think it's what your outlook on marriage is. If you go in saying, this probably isn't going to last long, or if you get in a fight, this is going to end, then I think you already have that set mind that things aren't going to last, and you're not going to be able to change your opinion. So, it just depends on the person.
Although we have talked about the negative impacts that divorce can have on children, is divorce necessary in some circumstances, such as domestic abuse? In some cases, divorce can often protect children and the parent, male or female, from further domestic abuse. Domestic abuse and conflicts amongst the family can cause a lot of negative stress, which was also viewed in the interview. According to the rational choice theory, most people make decisions based on a cost or benefit system. In the certain circumstances, such as divorce, the cost of leaving would have to outweigh the benefits of no longer being in the situation that they are in. So these costs can include leaving the kids, a lack of financial security, and a lack of they could lose their home over this as well. Children grow up in these abusive families. A lot of the times, what we'll see is these kids will demonstrate these abusive actions against their partner when they become married or any relationship as a way to resolve conflict. I offer 3 solutions that you can use that can end divorce as a social problem in your life. The first solution that I'll offer is problems. If you have any problems with your parents, or a problem with your boyfriend or girlfriend or your marriage partner, communication is very, very necessary in all relationships. The second solution would be, if you're not happy with how you were raised or your adolescence, it is only up to you to change this and to break the chain that can continue into one's adulthood. The third solution would be to be confident in your partner before you become married, because a lot of the times people will want to get married to someone who they're not confident in, that they cannot communicate with, that they cannot trust. Next, you'll see an interview of an elderly woman who is now currently 73 years of age and has been happily married for over 50 years. How many years have you been married now?
53.
Do you have any secrets or advice you would like to share as to how you were able to make this marriage work?
First of all, you go into marriage with the idea that you take your vows seriously. You don't go into it with the idea that they do a lot today, that, oh, if it doesn't work, we'll just get a divorce.
Mm-hmm.
You have to work at it. It isn't something that comes naturally, comes easy. It takes a lot of give and take, and a lot of love, a lot of forgiving, a lot of... I'm stopped.
What are your opinions on the statistic that about 50% of marriages end in divorce, and that percentage continues to escalate as people move on to their second, third, and even fourth marriages?
Mainly, I think people just don't want to work at it. When young people especially, and a lot of older ones too, when they get married, they're dating, they think it's all fun and games, and they can laugh and have a good time. But when they get into marriage and they have bills to pay, they have to hold down a job,
Mm-hmm.
they have children, there's problems come up, they're not ready for that. And I think sometimes they think the grass is greener on the other side, and it really isn't. When they get there, it's astroturf. And they just need to work at it a little more.
And do you see divorce as a social problem in America?
Definitely.
Do you feel that it has escalated over time?
Yes, I think so, because I think they make it too easy to get a divorce. They either need to make it harder to get a divorce or harder to get married in the first place. You should have to go through counseling or something before you get married and kind of know what you're really getting into.
This has been 60 Minutes with Patrick Hunley. I hope this video has been very informative to you on how divorce has become a major social issue in America.